Label M, the song. I cannot talk enough about it. 4 of you guys returned, yourself and Miss Johnson. So talk about coming back to it and re-recording it and just getting back into the moment that you had in 1994 with Hans and with everyone else.
I get a call, there's something about something that's creative that I'm going to do with Hans, so we have a way of working. Then I see this and little drawings and I go into it and prepare to leave, and I go back because something is missing. We create a because I'm just looking at this. Then I keep seeing this image of Mufasa coming out, and just as I was about to leave, I turned back and said, let me do one more thing. And I went, nah, and that was it. It was a demo, and we tried a couple of times to redo that. It just never wanted to be redone. What you hear is actually one take. It has been one take 25 years later. And how blessed can one be that in the movie last night, I'm sitting and watching this thing, that one take we did, because it was so natural, now it's going to outlive the previous 25 years. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
I mean, that's how you create magic, is just one take.
Yes. Then there's Pharrell, there's everyone. And then when he starts the meeting, is what really touched me when Jon said, we are never going to compromise the authenticity of the original work. And that is so true, because not only is the new movie remain true to the original movie, but it's also remained true and respectful to the Broadway production. And I'm truly grateful as a South African and an African and an American, because I grew up here, who are blessed enough to be part of this amazing journey. And I'm still sitting, he's not tired of me. We fight a lot and we love each other too much. But I get to sit like this and say, I'm truly blessed to have a brother who has given me, and now we've gone around the world on the Hans Zimmer tour, and now who else has this type of opportunity to start the next 25 years in advance?
I'm gonna say to my hyenas down there, you guys are kind of like that couple that needs to break up, but they don't know they need to break up, but everyone around them knows they need to break up.
We're in a very toxic relationship that we try to hide from our leader. It's like she's the boss and also our therapist.
Yes,
But we're like,
yes.
I'm not going to tell her the truth in this session, though. Because
How did you get that dynamic? Because it is so different from the Timon and Pumbaa relationship.
He's incredibly talented and really, really easy to work off of. And he is a selfless, altruistic talent, which is rare. So I was in good hands. I was in great hands with Jon. So I don't know. It just was a very nurturing environment, and it made it very easy because I'm very, very sensitive. So the slightest wind
of any kind of
will make me
kind of
tear up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Jon is a great student, has an encyclopedic knowledge of all different types of comedy, and one of those pieces of knowledge is about comedic duos and the dynamic that exists between them. And I know that when we had a very similar experience to Billy and Seth, where we were allowed to walk around the room, it was as if we were being directed in a scene in a play. And as he said, we were all mic'd, and so everything was captured. And then it was the subsequent rounds that I thought was interesting, right, Jon, that would get a little more technical when I would be actually by myself. So I think I had 2 with you and then 2 by myself. And the refinement is also very fun, because we would sit there and I'd have the headphones on, and I would say to Jon, I'm like, now are we looking for Fibber McGee and Molly here, or Abbott and Costello? What are you looking for? He goes, I'm actually looking for a little bit of Laurel and Hardy with an explosion at the end, but then back it up into a little Apatowian for me. And so
with a sprinkle of Beavis and Butthead.
Yes, but just
a soupçon.
A soupçon, just a
Of
soupçon.
Beavis and Butthead.
I mean, you're a chef in everything that you do, man. Like, you really are. I love this. Florence, I have to talk about your character because I lived for her last night. I really, really, really did. I think hers was probably, everything was great, but you were the biggest upgrade in my opinion. I loved what you were able to do with her because she was fierce. Let's talk about the fierceness of you bringing, I don't know, talk about her.
Well, I was lucky that I got to play the part already in Germany for more than a year, and we played like 8 shows a week. So when you tell me who is Shenzi, it's like muscle memory because I got to play her every day. But this Shenzi is so different. I remember in the musical, we had sometimes shows where I was embarrassed because the hyenas are so dumb and funny, and they are entertaining, but this is so different, this experience, because when I listened to the dialogue or when I read them, I realized that this is way more dangerous and more serious. I was lucky that my first day that I was in a black box and I was working with Eric, and with JD, and we were very physical because the guys were so strong. It was easy for me to just be big, and because everybody's very confident, we could just really try out things. We could walk around each other. We could scare each other. We could scream, be loud, be big, be small. And it's like working in a theater, which I love. So having that freedom just made me, or I was allowed to do whatever I wanted to, you know?
Shahadi, too, also was in the stage play, did Young Nala, and now you're also doing Young Nala in this one, and you have Every Black Girl's Dream. You share a credit with Beyonce, Carter Knowles, so like, we'll love life. So what was it like doing both versions, the stage and, you know?
It was amazing doing both, and it was such an honor doing the stage play on Broadway and also doing it in the all-new Lion King. And one thing that I really saw the difference was that on Broadway, everything's a little bit more structured. I feel like maybe Florence, you probably felt that as well. And you kind of just have to like follow direction, which is cool too. But also, you know, in the all-new Lion King, I loved how Jon gave JD and I just a bunch of freedom, and especially Pharrell and Hans. We also had a lot of freedom in the booth. He was like, you can riff or do whatever, you know, just make it fun. And it was awesome, and I wasn't used to that, but it was still amazing, so I love that.
And can I say that was the easiest, quickest casting I've ever had?
Really?
Yeah, Sarah Finn. I was get me a list, you know, because we put lists together. There was one person on the list for Young Nala, and I was like, okay, done. Okay, move on. You just why? It was like, because remember, all of these performers who sing in the movie sing like they're really good singers who really prepared and what?
Thank you.
I don't know who's getting a laugh. Is it Seth? Seth had Hans and Pharrell there as his cornermen. And by the way, love your voice in it. It's character. It's beautiful. It's some of my best stuff. I love you. You closed the show on "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" I mean,
someone had to, and I.
All right, thank you. I want to thank the cast and the filmmakers of The Lion King for spending this time at the press conference, and thank you guys again. Really appreciate it.